Good afternoon, people. Good afternoon. I hope everyone's doing great. As you guys can see, it is pretty dim outside. It's actually raining, I think. Let me see if you guys I don't know if you guys can see over there, but it's too dim. But right there, it's raining. That's my window. But yeah, it appears to be raining. Things of that nature. But you guys know what we're here for. We're here to pass this damn night. I gotta hit the gym at 5 p.m. You know what I mean? I'm trying to get them gains. I ain't ripped, but some light, you know. But you know what? It is what it is, gang. We need to pass this game. I told myself and I told you guys I'd pass it, and we can't move on until the second game until we pass this goddamn thing. Oh damn. Sorry, I'm watching, you know, the stream. Not watching the stream, but I'm checking the stream on my phone to see if there's people watching. So, if there's anyone watching, please leave a comment. I'm just trying to see if there's anyone here. But let's get this bread. Let's get this bread. The perfect weather, you know what I mean? I got my Spider-Man cup here. Nothing but W's. Still there. Remember, I was able to I got through night 1 to 3, and then I don't know if you guys remember, but night 4 is where I called it quits the first time. Not quits, you know, but that's where I capped off. But this is that's not helping. He's still there. There he is. Freddy's on, but excuse me. Sorry. To have the perfect run of this game, I need for it to hit. I need to hit 50%, or at least be a little bit above it. One of them is coming up, and I'm not sure which it is. Foxy. There's very fucking. Now that's not a good sign because it means Foxy might be right. Crazy. Where? No wonder I couldn't find them on cams. It's alright though, it's alright. We're gonna pass it today. Today we're gonna pass it. One way or another. Man, why is this game gotta be so hard? I think it's the fact that I hardly not get any breaks, but I run out of power too quick because they're all rushing. Right away, the fucking duck is missing. She's already here. Freddy's already didn't move. No mames. We got him. Oh my god. I'm generally in shambles right now. This is the second street that I'm stuck on this motherfucker. I'm only 15 minutes in, I'm already stressing. I'm gonna have to resort to Google. That's Discord.
Hey guys, Ambience here. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat Night 5 of Five Nights at Freddy's, the last night in the main game, of course. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. Now, before we get thrown into the action, I just wanted to remind you guys that I am going to be doing a 420 mode guide very shortly, as well as some guides on Five Nights at Freddy's 2 after that. So, if you're not already, make sure to subscribe and turn notifications on so you do not miss those guides. They're going to be very, very important. I'm really excited to work on them, so yeah, can't wait to show you guys. Alright, so if you guys watched my two previous videos, then you should know the strategy we're going to be using by now. It's not really much different for Night 5. Let's go ahead and mute this phone call. Very loud. So, the strategy, of course, is going to be light, camera, light, camera, light, camera. If you prefer, you can do light, light, camera, light, light, camera, like this. But the more efficient strategy for Night 5, and the one that we're going to be using for the easy strategy of 420 mode, which I'll explain in the 420 mode guide, is going to be light, camera, light, camera. Just keep doing this, basically. Alright, so we got the strategy down now, pretty much. You are going to want to be keeping the camera on the show stage for most of the night, as that will prevent Freddy from moving. The main goal of this night, along with, of course, keeping Bonnie and Chica out with your reflexes, is to ensure that Freddy does not leave the stage and Foxy does not leave Pirate's Cove. If you keep those two locked up, then you should be fine here. You shouldn't run out of power. It should be a pretty easy night overall, as long as you stick to the plan. We are going to be checking Pirate's Cove every 1 or 2 hours just to ensure that Foxy has not left. He shouldn't if we're using the strategy, but especially for newer players who may be a little nervous, it's always best to check on him just in case. And another thing that I wanted to talk about, now that we've got the strategy down, is I have talked about a lot, I have talked a lot about AI levels in the past, but I haven't really specified what they mean. So, I can't remember the specific AI levels for this night. I think Foxy's is 6 and Freddy's is 4. That's pretty much all I remember. But what I do know is that basically how AI levels work is that every 3 to 5 seconds, depending on the animatronic, with Freddy having the most movement opportunities per minute, and Foxy having the least. Every 3 to 5 seconds, then an animatronic is going to have a movement opportunity that has a random chance to succeed or fail. And it gets increasingly more likely that it will succeed the higher their AI level is. So if an animatronic's AI level is 1, they only have a 5% chance to move every movement opportunity. I'm having trouble talking today for some reason. So every movement opportunity, if their AI level is 1, they will only have a 5% chance to succeed. Whereas if their AI level is 20, they have a 100% chance to succeed, and they will move every single time. And the AI system is used throughout every night in the game, not just 420 mode, or custom night, rather. So keep that in mind. So that's a little bit about how AI levels work. Foxy's works slightly differently. Basically, he goes into a locked state every time the camera is up, in which his movement opportunities will automatically fail regardless of his AI level or current position. After lowering the camera, he will remain locked for anywhere from, I think, 0.83 seconds, I want to say, to 16 some seconds, and it can literally be any frame in between those. So it is very random indeed on when he actually decides to move and whether he actually does move. But by raising the camera constantly, we can virtually keep him locked in place the entire night. If we check Pirate's Cove, the curtains are closed, he's not moved at all, every movement opportunity has failed, so the plan is doing its job. And of course, you do need to have good reflexes for this strategy, which is why we start practicing it pretty early in easier nights, so that we can do it when better reflexes may be required, since Bonnie or Chica can get in really quick by this point, and we're going to have to raise and lower the monitor very quickly in order to ensure no animatronic gets in, to make the strategy of light camera work optimally. Chica is in the kitchen, so no need to check the right light until that stops. I don't hear it anymore, so let's start checking the right light again. You do want to be paying attention to sound cues the entire time, by the way. I've been a little bit zoned out while I've been talking, but you are going to want to pay attention to sound cues constantly. Like right now, I hear Chica in the kitchen again, so I know that I don't need to check the right light for a few seconds, or until I stop hearing the pots and pans banging. That's one of the most important sound cues, I would say. Other very, very important sound cues are noises such as Freddy laughing. In that case, we know that he has moved one position. So if he was on the show stage and he laughs, I know he's now in the dining area. If he's in the dining area and laughs, then I know he's in the restrooms, and so on and so forth. Then there's the audio cue of Foxy singing, which I believe signals that he is not currently about to leave Pirates Cove, so that's good to know as well. Speaking of Foxy, let's check on him again. Curtains are still closed. He's not showing any sign of moving. Strategy is working just as planned. Other audio cues, of course, that are paired with visuals, like animatronics showing up in the doorway, are more meant to scare you than anything else, but during something like a blindfolded run, or if you're just not paying very close attention, then it can help you. Sometimes that noise will not play, I think, if you've recently seen an animatronic in the doorway. So, regardless of what it is, you do want to be paying attention to sound cues, but the sound cues, of course, are useless if you don't know what they actually mean. Another sound cue that it won't really help you necessarily because you're already pretty much dead by this point. But if you have the camera up and you hear what sounds like heavy breathing or groaning in the office, then do not lower the camera. If you are already at 5 a.m., there's a chance you can hold out. About 30 seconds after getting into the office, Bonnie or Chica will force down the camera and will kill you anyway. But you do have a greater chance of survival if you're at 5 a.m. if you just don't do anything and wait for them to force down the camera. Because if you pull it down at that point, you will die. Let's just keep the strategy up here. Seems to be working. It's 4 a.m. We have 35% power. Not bad. We should not run out of power on this night, I would think. I'm about to check Foxy again in just a second. That'll probably be the last time that we check him on this night. Might check him one more time. Okay. Curtain's still closed. He's not doing anything. As long as we keep the strategy up, he will not move. And this is basically going to be the exact strategy that we're going to be using for 420. We are going to have a little bit faster reflexes and move a little bit quicker overall. But this is the same strategy that we're going to use for 420 mode, basically. There's some modifications, like we're going to have the camera on the East Hall corner instead of the show stage, and I'll explain why that is once we get there. And every time that we check Pirates Cove, we are also going to have to close the right door. Once again, I'll explain that more in depth once we get the 420 mode. Should only be a few days anyway. It is now 5 a.m., 26% power. There's Bonnie, close the door, of course. He's now gone. As the AI levels get higher, the animatronics will typically leave the door much quicker. As you can see, Bonnie leaves nearly instantly after we close the door. Whereas on night 1 and 2, he was staying by the door for a while and draining some power. This is to compensate for the fact that the animatronics show up more frequently on later nights and higher AI levels. Otherwise, they'd show up constantly and they'd pretty much be at your door all night. There'd be no way to avoid running out of power. So, nice little balance optimization there. Another sound cue, of course, that may be a little hard to hear is deep footsteps. This means that either Bonnie or Chica is currently in either the West Hall corner, the East Hall, or the East Hall corner. So basically, they're in the hallways, so you should expect to see them at the door, especially soon. It is 15% power. We can keep doing the strategy for the entire rest of the night with no problem, and we will still beat the night with the lights on. But in order to make it a little bit less strenuous on you guys, because your hand would probably be getting pretty tired by this point if you don't do this regularly, what I would suggest doing is we're going to check Foxy. It's not moving at all? Okay. We hit 6 a.m., but what I was going to do was just open the right door after Chica left and just not move. And that way you can kind of rest your hand a little bit while all of that's going on. And that's the stall strategy that I was talking about that I believe I mentioned during the Night 4 guide. So if you want to hear more about that in depth, then be sure to watch the Night 4 guide as well. So that's it, guys. We beat the main game. We got a check for $120, which made this nightmare worth it, I'm sure. Of course, there is more. There is a 6th night, which I'll be making a guide for shortly, along with the infamous 420 mode. So I am going to be teaching you guys how to beat this game as a whole, but you should feel good about yourself. You just beat the main game, you've got this first star.
So, I'm just stupid, I guess, from what this video taught me. So practically it's just keeping an eye on Freddy the entire time. I didn't know he could stay in the stage, but I'm just this desperate to pass this game that I simply could not understand how to pass it. But to each their own, you know, to each their own. Alright. Let's test this strategy out. Suck my dick, Freddy. Suck my fat wiener. All right. Ugh. No way. No way, Jose. No way, Jose. No way that fucking strategy worked. I'm just beyond appalled. Ah, my dog. That's my dog. Ah, cutie, that's my dog. That's my fucking dog. See how many people are watching? Probably like 1 or 2 people. It says 1 watching. W fucking man, to whoever's watching. But let's go. Let's go. Oh, finally. Nope, I'm not doing A6. Fuck that. Alright, so we'll on to number 2. God damn it, I gotta fix the screen for this one too. Let's see how it looks there. Okay, just a little bit more, just a little bit more. Alright, that's cool, that's cool. That's cool, that's good enough. So, we beat the first game. Now, on to the second game. Ah! That's my bad peeps. Oh, I don't know if you guys know, but I played this game a while ago, so it says on my Night 5, but obviously I'm gonna start a new game for, because what's the point if I ain't passed it with y'all, you know what I'm saying? LeBron James type shit. So, new game it is. Vintage Pizzeria giving a new life. Come be a part of the new face of Freddy's Fast Fresh Pizza. What could go wrong? $150 a week? What? That's what I make like in a day. YouTube be paying me for monetization and shit. I forgot how to use control on this one.
Hello? Hello and welcome to your new summer job at the new and improved Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. I'm here to talk you through some of the things you can expect to see during your first week here to help you get started down this new and exciting career path. Now, I want you to forget anything you may have heard about the old locations, you know. Some people still have a somewhat negative impression of the company. That old restaurant was kind of left to rot for quite a while, but I want to reassure you, Fazbear Entertainment is committed to family fun and above all, safety. They've spent a small fortune on these new animatronics. Facial recognition, advanced mobility, they even let them walk around during the day. Isn't that neat? But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal second guard to work at that location. The first guy finished his week, but complained about conditions. We switched him over to the day shift. So, hey, lucky you, right? Mainly he expressed concern that certain characters seemed to move around at night and even attempted to get into his office. Now, from what we know, that should be impossible. That restaurant should be the safest place on Earth. So while our engineers don't really have an explanation for this, the working theory is that the robots were never given a proper night mode. So when it gets quiet, they think they're in the wrong room. So then they go try to find where the people are, and in this case, that's your office. So our temporary solution is this. There's a music box over by the prize counter, and it's rigged to be wound up remotely. So just every once in a while, switch over to the prize counter video feed and wind it up for a few seconds. It doesn't seem to affect all of the animatronics, but it does affect one of them. And as for the rest of them, we have an even easier solution. You see, there may be a minor glitch in the system, something about the robot seeing you as an endoskeleton without his costume on and wanting to stuff you into a suit. So hey, we've given you an empty Freddy Fazbear head. Problem solved. You can put it on any time and leave it on for as long as you want. Eventually anything that wandered in will wander back out. Something else worth mentioning.
Fun fact,
is
I've only played the first, the second,
there are no doors for you to close. But
the
hey,
fourth,
light,
the Joy of Creation,
even though your flashlight can run out of power,
and
the
Security
building
Breach,
cannot.
and I've never
So
played the
don't
third
worry
one.
about the place going dark. Well, I think that's it. You should be golden. Check the lights, put on the Freddy head if you need to. Keep the music box wound up. Piece of cake. Have a good night, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I mean, I got to this, in this game, I got to the 5th night in one try. But when I got to the 5th night, I stopped. And some people started asking me why I switched to YouTube, to live stream on YouTube. And it's just the simple reason that a lot of people just have YouTube, you know what I mean? They don't all have Twitch. So I thought it'd be more easier to just be on YouTube, because everyone has YouTube on their phone. Everyone. It's very rare for someone that doesn't. So if, let's say, one of my friends is trying to watch me and he doesn't have Twitch, he has to go through the whole Twitch sign up. He has to create an account, download the app, the whole 9 yards, you know what I mean? When everyone has a YouTube account at this point. Who's there? Someone's there and I'm not sure who it is. It's probably Freddy. There he is. So yeah, I think also YouTube is so much easier to manage. Damn, he kind of rushed me. I won't lie. YouTube is a little easier to manage too. So and like I said, YouTube is more accessible to everyone. So why not make it easier for everyone that wants to watch it? You know what I mean? Not only did I want to play these games in commemoration of the new movie, but I also grew up on these games. Like, I remember having to play the demos because I didn't have money. Not money, my parents would never give me money to just buy a mobile game, you know what I mean? Like, what parent in their right mind would do that? But I remember just always playing the demos. And I've always had the idea that I wanted to do YouTube, just because I like playing video games, I like making videos, I like cinematography. So stay on the lookout for a cinematic type of video that I've been working on. Nothing out of the world, but it'll be something cool. Just like that. Just like that, the first night. Bread and butter, baby. Bread and butter. Bread and butter.
Hello?
I'm actually call it quits here for streaming for the day, just because I have some stuff to do before I go work out. But my main goal was to pass the 5th night of the first game, so we got that shit. Let's go. Let's go. Stay tuned. I might start streaming again when I get back from working out. Or who knows? But for sure, more likely, I will stream again tonight. So stay tuned for that. I love you all. Thank you to whoever watched today.